Today in our 2017 Chevrolet Trax, we're going to be installing CURT's Class 1 1.25 inch trailer hitch receiver, part number C11527. And this is what your hitch is going to look like when it's installed on your vehicle. As you can see, most of it's tucked up pretty well underneath of it. You still can see the cross tube a little bit. For the most part, if you're up above, you're only going to see the end of the receiving tube, so it won't distract from the looks of the vehicle. It's a Class 1 1.25 inch by 1.25 inch receiving tube, which is going to be great for carrying bike racks, cargo carriers, and for extremely light towing. And it features plate-style safety chain loops that are extra long and wide, so it shouldn't have any problem accommodating any size safety chain, whether it be a small one or a large one. It features a 200-pound tongue weight, which is the force going down on top of the receiver, and a 2,000-pound gross towing capacity, which is how much it can pull behind it. Now you do want to make sure you check your vehicle's owner's manual to ensure you're not exceeding its towing capacities. Additionally, CURT does recommend that you use a stabilization strap when hauling any non-trailer loads. Essentially, that's anything that doesn't have wheels. And now I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the top inside edge of the receiving tube to the ground, it's going to measure about 11 inches. Now this is pretty low, so you may want to consider getting accessories with a raised shank. And from the center of the hitch pinhole to the edge of the rear bumper, it's going to measure about 6.5 inches. This is important when deciding on any folding accessories, whether they can fold into the upright position. We'll begin our installation by lowering our exhaust. You're going to want to put a strap in place first to prevent any damage from occurring when you lower it down, so you don't lower it too far. Spray a little lubricant on them to make it come off easier, and then just pry your hangers right off. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Now use a little spray lubricant and spray out your weld nuts on the side and clean them out with a small brush. You can pick one up here at Etrailer.com. Then clean out the holes on the other side as well. Next, we'll need to feed in our carriage bolts and spacers into the bottom of our frame here. We're going to be going in this hole here. Now our brake line is right there, so we're going to use a little pry bar, and we are just going to pop that right out of the clip and just gently move that out of the way. That way we can pull it back to feed our wires in. And now you want to check the bolts that come with your kit. There are weld nuts on the side of your frame that we cleaned out, and there's two potential thread pitches. There's a coarse pitch here on the right and a fine pitch here on the left. So before you raise your hitch up, you want to try and thread one of these bolts in and see which one is the right for your vehicle. On our vehicle, we're going to be using the coarse. Then take your fish wire, go up through the small hole. We're going to come right back down the larger hole next to it. Slide on your spacer and then thread on one of the carriage bolts. Push your spacer up into the frame, then feed your carriage bolt up into the frame and pull it back down. You'll repeat that same process on the other side. Now we'll raise our hitch into position. We've got ourselves an extra set of hands to make it easier. You'll start on the passenger side by going up over the exhaust. So we'll work that one up in there. Make sure to pull your fish wire and insert it down through the rearmost holes. Tilt it. Once you've got your passenger side up over the exhaust, you can get your driver's side up. Make sure to feed the fish wire down on that side as well. Lift it into place and get one bolt started in the side of the frame on each side. This will make it easier to install the rest of your hardware. Place a conical tooth washer with the teeth facing towards your hitch and thread it into place. And now install the rest of your hardware on each side. Now thread off your fish wire. Thread one of the flange nuts on your rear carriage bolt. You'll then do the same thing on the other side. Now tighten and torque all of your hardware to the specifications in your instructions. We'll tighten our side bolts with a 19mm socket. And torque and tighten your nuts using an 18mm socket. Now reinstall your exhaust. A little bit of spray lubricant will make it easier to slide it back on. Just lift it into position and push it right back on. Do that for both your hangers. Once your exhaust is installed, you can take down your cable that you were using to support your exhaust And now you're ready to hit the road. And that completes our installation of CURT's Class 1 1 1/4 inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2017 Chevrolet Trax.